So even though we got bombarded with Amphibia and Owl House news 3 days ago, there was a little bit of information tweeted out by Disney TV Animation News. They posted the synopses for Big City Green's Amphibia and the Owl House for the month of July. We still don't know about the synopses for August yet, but I'm sure those will be coming soon. Also, Disney TV Animation themselves said that once July rolls around, they will release the next batch of episode titles. So at the very least, we won't have to wait long for new episode titles. Now, the 3 Owl House episodes that we got synopses for are Sense and Insensitivity, Adventures in the Elements, and The First Day. They go as follows. For Sense and Insensitivity, when King becomes a best-selling author, he learns a valuable lesson in reading the fine print. For Adventures in the Elements, Luce needs to learn a new spell, so Ida takes her to the most magical place on the island to train. And for The First Day, during Luce's first day of magic school, curiosity gets the best of her and she finds herself thrown into the Delinquent Track where she's not allowed to learn magic. Now, Adventures in the Elements got released in Turkey back in April, so I'm not going to go over this episode since many have already seen it, but I would like to talk about the other 2 episodes. Now, a little while back I did a video going over episode titles that were circulating before we finally got official confirmation 3 days ago. I talked about how the Owl House What's to Come promo was likely showing the next 3 episodes in the show. But now, with the next 5 episode titles confirmed and the synopses for 3 of them out, I thought I would do a quick video giving my new thoughts on the topic. We'll first start with Sense and Insensitivity. Now, I did originally say that I thought this would be a King episode, and it is, although I thought this episode would also include Tibbles, but after reading the synopsis, I'm not sure that's the case. But if we look at these 2 moments here from the promo, I feel that these are from Sense and Insensitivity. This one probably being the most obvious, we see King being launched into a magical box with Luce. And we see this new character here holding up a contract with King's paw print as a signature. I also said in my previous videos that I believe King is a guest at the convention center since we see both him and Luce in the dressing rooms that we saw Lilith in at the end of convention. I had originally said that it was something to do with art since King likes drawing so much, but now we know that he is likely a guest because of a best-selling book. There was also this still image that Disney TV Animation News tweeted out with King and Luce standing outside in what appears to be the market area by a large book stand. So this is likely from Sense and Insensitivity. Going back to the promo though, there was this shot towards the end where we see King in front of a typewriter in Luce's room. Likely he is typing up his book. But honestly, now looking at the synopsis, seeing how Luce is with King at the convention center, and thinking back to the Owl Pellets short where Luce mentions fanfiction to King, are the 2 of them going to make a best-selling book from fanfiction? Possibly a Zora fanfiction since we already know Luce is a big fan and then she got King into it. Regardless, I'm excited to see this episode because it will mark the end of the Owl House hiatus. But this brings us to The First Day. Now there is a lot to look forward to with this episode obviously because it's going to be Luce's first day at Hexside. But from the synopsis, we learn that there is also a Delinquent Track where you can't learn magic. Now this is kind of crazy to think about that there is literally a track that restricts you from learning magic. And we've already seen what detention looks like at Hexside, so getting placed in the Delinquent Track is likely seen as an even worse punishment than this.
Already?
As to what Luce does to get herself thrown into the Delinquent Track, my guess is that Luce tries to enroll in multiple tracks at Hexside, which we know is looked down upon due to the current Coven system. Or possibly Luce starts messing with things that she shouldn't be. Looking at the promo, there is a clip at the very end. We see that Luce's sleeves on her uniform are green and light purple, which would have me assume that she has already enrolled in multiple tracks at Hexside. So is this location where students in the Delinquent Track go? But if that's the case, then why would Amity be here as well? Although it would be pretty on brand for Luce to wind up getting Amity into trouble, since bad things always seem to happen when these 2 meet. So this goes back to the point I just made that perhaps Luce gets into some shenanigans in wherever this location is, and this gets her put into the Delinquent Track. Whether Amity gets roped into Luce's antics, we'll have to see, but given the track record, that would be likely. The other thing I would consider from this moment from the promo is that this could be from Understanding Willow. We have yet to get an official synopsis because the source where Understanding Willow was first discovered has slightly different synopses for each episode. They aren't flat out wrong, but looking at the two synopses for the first day, you can see some information is missing. But this is the closest thing that we have to a synopsis for Understanding Willow, which is Luce, Willow, and Amity take a trip down memory lane. Now, I actually made a tweet about this a couple days ago, but memory lane is capitalized, which to me would indicate that memory lane is an actual place. And given the heavy plant theme going on here and all these picture frames, I'm wondering if this location is supposed to represent Willow and her memories. Like each painting is a specific memory, and Luce and Amity will have to hop through them, and we will uncover Willow and Amity's history. Who knows though, that's just a guess on my end. But with the confirmation that there is a Delinquent Track, that makes me wonder if Ida was ever placed in it. We know that she was in the Potions Track at one point, but we know that she never actually finished school. So was she in the Potions Track and then decided that being forced to only pick one coven was stupid and then got thrown into the Delinquent Track? Since it restricts learning magic, I could see Ida just dropping out of school altogether to get out of the track and continue learning all forms of magic. Either way, I am super excited to learn more about the Delinquent Track, in addition to learning more about Hexside in general, since Luce will be having her first day there very soon. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time guys, take care.